Wait. Oh my god, this is filthy. This is filthy. Oh my god, this must be infuriating, man. Nah, you know what? I think that you are way too early with this. Try next turn. You know, try next. Man, this is Triple Interrupter. They need to pay 6 or 9 mana for this. This is the dirtiest deck we ever showcased, man. I think I know how we will do it, man. On the next turn, we already will drop Curiosity, Swinging Face. This doesn't create a creature. Everything that doesn't create a creature is fine. They need something. Like, this card is very hit or miss. Nope. Because if they don't have a creature, I mean, it does absolutely nothing. It's just a dead card. I really hope they don't have another 1-drop. It feels that they have. Which is a big problem for us. Okay, this is good, because it cannot attack on the next turn. Sure, they will draw a card, but so will we. Okay, this is a good 1-drop. Intrusion. Can we try to go for a lethal? I really think this is Curiosity. I think we need to get a little bit refilled with some value. We probably will have to sweep at some point, so Day of Judgment is on the table. Well, the draw kinda sucks, but you know, we would draw it anyway, so it's at least got us 1 turn ahead through a little bit of a flute. And this is our opponent's moment to shine. They need to make some big plays. Okay, I'm pretty happy about it. We can also try to defend. Sheltered. It's strong, but I think at some point we can answer it very easily. So it's not as good as it seems. We probably won't N-whip it. Well, I guess we could. But this cannot block. This cannot block, so we can always play it and bounce it or something. I don't know. we can do stuff. If they make the toy thing, that means they need to lose Sanctifier, so this Interrupter is actually Godsend. Yeah, they cannot really attack. Sure. We need to keep them in check, because at some point they will completely go crazy, and we need to be ready with Sweeper then. We cannot stop it forever, but we can stop it for a time being. And those Sphinxes will really help us fix the situation. I think we go Sphinx just to have more options, and potentially double blocking on the next turn. Man, this is 5 mana! Oh, they are not casting this one for a very long time. And we can still N-whip thanks to the tap. Alright guys, do we want High Noon? I honestly don't think so. I think now we want to double spell. Or multi-spell. And we are the better deck in the long run. We have more control over the game, so we don't need to be aggressive. Our opponent has to. The Vanguard. So they will start life gaining. But not much more. I think it's fine. We can always try to go for a Consult and find something, but it just wasn't worth it. Until they have one big creature that scales, they cannot really do much to us. Yeah, they cannot really attack. I think on the next turn we can drop the Sphinx and start attacking. So that should be amazing. If we can hit anything that gets rid of Sheltered, that would be even easier. Life gain doesn't matter too much, and I think we are in great spot here. So we can, you know, draw those juicy lands. Alright, now we can start to be aggressive. Sorry man, I'm getting some cough lately. So let's swing. It will be a long way to get them from 30 to 0, but right now we cannot be super aggressive, we need to still be mostly defensive. They can try to flip this at some point. Yeah, but I don't think it will be a huge deal. And don't forget, we can always sweep the board if we don't like it. Halia, the 1 mana version, sure. So they will probably get the case on this turn. They will draw a card, but it doesn't really push too much. And they actually will life gain all of this damage back. That's why you need to get this card advantage, so at some point you can just outscale them. Because chipping some damage just doesn't cut it against this deck. Yeah, but we can draw more than they do. And then we are taking over. When we hit the pirate, we can start drawing every single turn and then double drawing. So I think then we take over the game completely. And now this is our moment. And don't forget, every time they could do something dirty, we just counter it. Alright, Into the Roil, and I mean, I guess this. The only 2 non-land cards that we hit. I mean, why not? Why not? We play land. We could get this. Oh, this is good. Guys, I'm going a little bit crazy here. We go for the Sanctifier, then the Sheltered is out, we still have our counter spell, and now we will draw so many cards that it's actually not even fun. This is the moment when we smelt weakness from our opponent, and oh boy, the weakness will hurt them. And now you can see the difference when we can get cards on top of the damage. Let's swing a little bit aggressively. They can replace stuff, of course, they can go for the rooms, but we'll get so many cards that this will not matter too much. And I mean, you can still counter something or destroy. No way they have, like, removal. Final show. Man, this is so cool. You gotta respect this play, man. Very cool play by our opponent. Do we want to bounce something? Nah. Nah, we just counter. I've literally never seen this card in this deck. I would never play around it. So right now we are still drawing our 3 cards. And that is massive. Man, look at this. One good swing. And suddenly we doubled our hand size. Now we have counter spells, now we have sweepers, tons of mana, and you can clearly see we are getting there. And this is cool part, like when you have sweepers, sure, you also lose your creatures, but as you can see, we can just make sure that our board is better, and then we just chill and make other plays. And when our opponent just goes absolutely all in, trying to break this board, we're like, okay, I sweep. Now we both have nothing in the board, but I have 5 cards and you have 1. And then you win on the other side, and you kind of force them into those bad positions. So, you know, not exactly how you usually want to play, but you can steal crazy amounts of value if you do it the right way. Like, I've noticed whenever I play creatures with Sweeper, I get so much better sweepers, man. Oh, this is perfect. Now it stays here forever as a friend. So, okay, so they can deal only 5 damage, we can fully ignore it. And we are actually winning on board right now. Every attack draws cards. And maybe we can even just try to fight. I think at some point they want to flip it and try to kill us with 1 hit, but I don't think it will work. Yeah, we go like this. Man, this is so much damage on top of so many cards. If as a controller's deck you have like infinite cards, man, it's very hard to lose. Especially if you have a lot of cheap ones. Do we want High Noon to make this game even more interesting? No, because we want to multi-spell. We actually can do more than our opponent. Let's get rid of the land. Land is great here, but we can kinda play. Like, you know, 9 mana is like bare minimum for a control deck to kinda function. So they can start attacking, and they probably will, because they know that they cannot win the long game. And man, live gain is really high in the meta deck, so if we can win this, I will be very, very happy person. Monkey man. Why not red? Alright, so this is fine, it's just 1 toy. I think we get rid of Sanctifier. Because this is not really the card they want to draw. Like, this kinda sucks when you are on the receiving end, because you don't want to lose it, but you for sure don't want to spend whole next turn drawing it, you know, because you know that you will make 0 progress in that turn. They still need land for Halia. Man, this Interrupter is actually taxing so hard, it's crazy. Spells your opponent casts from graveyard or exile cost 2 more, and Warp is cast from exile. So yeah, that's bad for our opponent. What do you do? So they can kill it. What about some interrupters in your life? So we need to do it all over again. See, that's why we didn't play High Noon. Right now, we have so many cards that it actually benefits us to multi-spell. And we'll get more. So they're getting some life gain, but they're losing more and more on board. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. Oh boy, man, I love it. We can start double blocking with this, which is sweet. Yeah, we don't need to go super all-in here. We just need to moderately go all-in. And they cannot target it because we never cast a spell. One turn of it. Okay. You got it. You got it. And what now, my friend? What are you going to do now? Double block everything? Or just waste all the advantage you had for the whole game? Man, they double block everything. Man, this is actually really good for us. Sure? Man, if I knew, I would just take it earlier. Like, this is really good for us. Now they have nothing. What about high noon right now, when you need to create the whole board out of nothing? Now they cannot spam creatures, and we can counter whatever they play, so we make sure that the board is clear. Nah, you know what? I think that you are way too early with this. Try next turn, you know? Try next. They will scoop. Oh, they will scoop so hard right now. Drawing 3 cards, and the fact that it's 2-2 doesn't matter because you care only about those cards. And with High Noon, they will never resolve a card until end of this game. I think we can drop the Whale. Whale is fun, but not for our opponent. And it gets worse for our opponent. This is 12 damage, this is lethal. They cannot resolve any spell. Look at those mana costs, man. Man, this is Triple Interrupter. They need to pay 6 or 9 mana for this. This is the dirtiest deck we ever showcased, man. And we can counter it because we know they cannot cast anything else. Swing. I appreciate them, man. Really nice from our opponent. One more click. And they even got us the lethal. So yeah, thank you, man. Collector's Vault. Well, I wish we could do something about this one. So for now, we kind of need to chill. We are on the draw, so this will feel literally forever since we can, you know, do something. Do we consult the star charts? Do we consult the star charts? In all honesty, I think we do. I think one should be enough. Let's see if they do something more. Nope. This is not the best play ever, but it should be good enough. And I think that High Noon probably won't matter, because I would assume that they play Reanimator of some kind. So what we will do is play the Verge, unlock the counter spell, and then we can go into like Curiosity. I think Curiosity might be a good way to, you know, steal a little bit of value in this game. Collector's Vault is bad news, because sooner or later, each one of those cards will be amazing. So we will have like 5 counter spells to play. And of course we won't, because we probably won't get so many. So what we have to do now is play something that pressures. So I really have high hopes for this Curiosity. I think it can absolutely like steal the whole game. Especially that our opponent is discarding Sweepers. Probably removal next. See? See? We know stuff. We know stuff. When they see Curiosity, they won't like it too much. I mean, they can still... Yeah, with so many treasures, they can always answer it. I think this will still get exiled. It's too early. They probably still have some removal. But maybe we are lucky and this will be enchantment. That would be great. Or maybe this will be the absolute worst card we could ever see with this. Getting rid of the whole Curiosity strategy for the whole game. Bro, that was a bit overkill. Nobody really plays the end right now, so you generally never play around it. It's just so rare, nobody uses it. However, definitely hit us super hard here. We play untap land, super important. Now we can go Sailor and draw a card. Unfortunately, our opponent also seen the whole hand, so that will help them like massively to make the good plays. But now they're on a bit of a timer. They still have extremely high quality of cards, they have tons of mana, and because we don't play Ultima in this deck, the artifacts stay. Maybe we should play Ultima, I'm not sure, maybe I will switch. So let's go Sailor first. They need to remove it probably. But we are still getting the card, and then we can start getting into Whales. So even though our opponent has nice situation, And did they... Yeah, they gift. That's fine. We just draw the card. So basically we traded a 1-1 into 1-1. We got the card back. And our opponent, I mean, they can answer, but why would you do it now? Like, there's absolutely no point. Exactly. I'm pretty happy with this trade, to be honest. We get the same damage in the end. And now we are entering 6 mana, which is kinda massive for our win cons. And we still have counter spells. Unfortunately, our opponent knows about those, so they can play accordingly, like they know what happens at the end step. Normally you sneak the well because your opponent is like, yeah, it's just a control, they will pass the turn, do nothing. That's what they do, those filthy control mages. And then you play the well and they're like, oh no, I'm done. But here they can prepare. They're drawing cards, which is kinda good for them, but at the same time they are burning a lot of mana, so I'll take it. They save 5 mana, or exactly 4 here. So I would expect them to try to kill the whale before we untap. But that still burns all the treasures, so I think this is still a very good deal for us. I think that they will burn all of it. But this is something they worked for last what? 3 turns, 4 turns, something like this. So when they get rid of it, we should be really, really fine. That's okay. Pay the word. Pay the word. Let it hurt. And now the second whale will hit so much harder. Our opponent is nice because they know what will happen. Oh, they know what will happen. And the fish of the... Man, when this monster is swinging at your face, you know you are losing the game. There's... Bro, 5 drops mythics? Nope. Just the fish. This is the ultimate... ultimate terror. Do you remember the demon fish? Why it was demon? Because we had blue leyline and it triggered Annex. Some of you know. Some of you know. And our opponent wanted to be indestructible forever, but we are not allowing it. Not gonna happen. I think we dropped the whale. Our opponent obviously is preparing for it. But I don't want to lose the mana on this turn. You know what? We drop it. Like it's hot. Because I think we should have so many creatures that it's not worth to just waste the turn. And they have Fountain Port, and that is the reason why I went for this play. It's very interesting they allowed us to untap. I think this spells doom to our opponent. Well, especially with this... Okay, this is amazing. So, let's see. Do you want to make a fish and start the pain? Even though it looks good for our opponent, by the way, you can counter it with Intrusion. Oh no, it's activated. Sorry, never mind. Scrap that. I think they should trade against the fish, to be honest. Like, this is not good for our opponent, because they spent 4 mana and 1 life to literally do nothing. Like, imagine this creature had text, your opponent taps 4 mana every turn. It would be broken. Well, that's kinda how it works right now. But if they don't do it, of course, they are dying very quickly. And now those counter spells that we have are massive. I think moment we detect intrusion, it will be amazing. Okay. Wait. Oh my god, this is filthy. This is filthy. I love it. That means, man, you want to counter with this spell that is extremely expensive. Because basically they lose full turn on this stuff. And that means they cannot do anything. Now we can consult the star charts. So this is a bit wasteful because you know your next card is amazing. So you basically waste half of the card. You take the card that you would get anyway. However, you get the kicker part. And if you know that you have enough value for the rest of the game, it still gives you 1 extra card, even if you are wasting 1. So Detect Intrusion and... oh my god, they need to play instant or sorcery. If we counter them, they cannot win. Guys, that's game. Those cards make sure that nothing bad can happen to us. And we'll just keep countering every single thing they will play. And yeah, we can even bounce Interrupter, so we can counter another spell and keep doing it forever. I think our opponent is really unhappy about this game. They got rid of every curiosity in the deck. Alright, not a full rope, appreciate it. And yeah, man, I love Into the Roils in the deck like this. Because when they finally resolve something and they are so happy that finally something went through the stack, you are just like, bounce it, try again next turn. Your opponent knows that next turn it will get countered. So let's detect some intrusions. We enweb, because that means we get more counter spells. Oh my god, this must be infuriating, man. Because not only you know that your spell got countered, but you already know that the next spell is getting countered, and probably the next spell as well, and you are like, oh, I don't want to be part of it. Alright, so our opponent is a little bit better at magic, they are on the play, and our opponent is Eternal Witness, 1GG. And I remember this card in paper. I think I do. I remember the art even. Do we want this? I think it's a little bit too early. Basically, it was like, I think 3 mana, I mean 1 GG, 2/1 creature that brought, I think, any card from the graveyard. And man, when I played paper, it was so expensive. Like, it was like, I think $3 or $4, and I think it was uncommon. I might be messing something. It was like a decade freaking ago. But I think I got it right. So what can we do? I mean, we just probably play this and chill with some Aven Interrupters, just wanting to absolutely mess our opponent's fun. Man, this is crazy, like 3 mana to 1. It was playable. Alright, let's see. We have High Noon and we have blue mana, our opponent doesn't, but I think it might be too early to play it. I think, we cannot play it because we don't have enough for a counter spell. Let's see if they want to ramp us. Demolition Field is super risky for our opponent because it gives us extra mana. And I don't think they want to do it. So let's go for this. This would be a great counter spell target if our opponent played those cards. We absolutely need the land. And I think we get counter spells because those counter spells will win the game. And now we are getting to a very commanding spot. If we cast this, we cannot do anything on the same turn, but I think this is the way to lock our opponent out of the game completely. Okay, we still have Demolition Field, so that's why we have priority. And this is, yeah, I kind of expected it. That's why I wasn't sure if to play it, because this is like Oars of Control, so they're very good at removing enchantments. But you know, it's fine. It's still a card. Duress, bro, please chill. Don't do me dirty like this. I think we go Interrupter, man. I think this can buy us a lot of time. So of course they could pay the tax, but they cannot play the same card on this turn. And we can attack with Interrupter unless they kill it. Okay, that's fine. I think they will probably miss. Like, this deck is so uncommon that I don't think that they will hit the right card. They will probably take Sphinx, Consult. I mean, maybe High Noon if they really fear it. But we can counter this, get Interrupter back. But I told you, they missed. Like, we don't play this card. They think it's a Azorius Control, but it's not. It's a different deck. So, see? You need to be really careful with cards like this. If you miss, that's bad. That is very, very bad. They see the hand, so that's a bit of a downside. But I think we should be absolutely fine. We'll just... Yep. Now we can go Detect Intrusion, get this back into the hand, and absolutely torment our opponent for the rest of the game. And that was one of the few good cards they had. And as you can see, man, just a clean win. Okay, this should be kinda nice. We'll go with Plains because that might mean a mono white life gain aggro. In which case you play completely differently than when you see this. When you see this, you know that very different things will happen. Alright, Double Survivor. So they will probably start swinging. I think they need to exile cards to get the tokens. Do we care about it? I mean, yeah. Because it is a way to prevent tons of damage. If they hexproof, I'm pretty happy with it. That's fine. That's fine. And that means Day of Judgment will be really good later. Do we go High Noon? Well, you know what is the answer. We always go High Noon if we see one-dropped creatures. So I think we just need to hit the forefront and we should be absolutely fine. As you can see, without Date of imagine the hand without this. Well, you are dead. Well, you win. You are dead. You win. So, you know. After playing deck full of sweepers, you know that they are pretty good in the current meta. So yeah, our opponent will just keep hitting face with 1-drops, which seems to be very popular right now, but now we can punish them. I think we have one more turn. Casting Consult the Star Charts is massive. They probably have hexproof, protection spells, and not indestructible. There is a chance for indestructible, but I think we'll take this risk. And yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely draw some cards. Swing Call. Have you seen this one before? Alright, down to 5. And nothing to exile, so no. I think they get... Yeah, 3 cards. They need to exile 3 cards to get the stuff. And now consult the star charts. It's interesting what more they have. Oh, I like those cards, man. Those are such juicy cards. But I still think we sweep. So this should be Curiosity and Into the Roil. We'll try to play the game out of 4 lands. If we draw more, that's fine. If not, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Let's go. I think they can hexproof, but I think they cannot prevent this. And that's why we are going for the sweeper. If I knew that my only play is like a removal, I would need a counter spell on top of it. And see? Sweeper! Sweeper is good. This is crazy. You play sweeper and that's the whole game. Okay, and this is the game with one of the most hilarious interactions with Detect Intrusion I have ever seen. So our opponent is playing a card that gives tons of benefits, but at the end step, part of those benefits are gone. Our opponent discards a card, sacrifices a creature, loses 2 life. But they got 3 bats, 3 cards, and 6 life. Well, not really, because with Detect Intrusion, you don't counter the card, but you counter the ability that gives all those good things. So your opponent is literally left with a card that only has downsides, and now they need to sacrifice a creature, lose card, and lose 2 life every single turn without having anything out of this card. So at this point, I started recording because I knew this will be a banger. When I saw this interaction, it's probably the best you can ever get. So right now, our opponent absolutely has to gift us this card because they are losing the game. So all we need to do is make sure that we can basically like tank this for as long as possible. We know that our opponent will try to give some effect that gifts the card to us, right? Usually it's like Raven. If they have red, I think there's still this red card, like Harmless Offering. So this is probably a Raven at this point. You can already kind of tell. And we can go Interrupter, because this is a really nicely priced spell for 3 mana, which means they probably don't have more. And here I was super scared because I felt they have priority. And the only thing I feared here is 1 mana removal for Interrupter, because it kind of, you know, prevents our whole board presence. But fortunately, our opponent did not have it, or didn't play it, I'm not sure. And now the downside, yeah, that was Into the Floodmouth. They had it. But they didn't want to bounce Interrupter, right? Because then we can do it all over again. So now we can start swinging. Curiosity is one of the options, but then you are fully tapping out, and that means that they can use some kind of, you know, offering type of effect, and you are left with the card, so that's not what you want. And Momentum Breaker. This one is tricky, so here I will probably go for Detect Intrusion, bouncing the Interrupter, because then we can kind of prevent the effect so we don't discard a card, and we also get the Interrupter for their second play. All we need to do in this whole game is make sure that this enchantment that they got messed up with stays and destroys their whole game. Normally you cannot do it because they have 3 creatures, tons of cards and tons of life gain, so before it actually starts to hurt them, the game will over 5 times. But here it starts immediately, and you can already see that we are even in the cards with them, and it gets worse for them every single turn. So even if they can kill Interrupter and get Raven to 0 mana, they still need to wait 1 turn, which means that we have a little bit of breathing room. And here it goes, another card. Man, I feel for our opponent. This is probably the most unlucky interaction they could ever see in Standard for deck that they were using. They got really dirty. They were done dirty by the matchmaker for sure. So the Fabled Passage, The Raven is a bit of a problem. I'm not sure if I can, get anything done here. But first, man, they went with Marang. So they can bounce double momentum breaker, but guys, do you know what happens at the end step? This Marang gets sacrificed because they need to get rid of creature every single turn. Which means if we play, Aether, Consult, or Curiosity, or Sphinx, they have nothing. And they just scooped, man. Man, I really feel for our opponent. So, that's it. That was the deck that will get your opponent to rage quit very, very quickly. I love the combo between Detect Intrusion and Aven Interrupter because you can just bounce this while also countering a spell, and then you can counter again. Like, this gets really rough on your opponent, especially that with High Noon, it's basically a full lockdown. There's nothing they can do about it. So, very enjoyable deck for one of the players. This idea and most of the deck comes from the Wall Street Journal, one of our channel members, so really thank you, man. To be exact, I modified the deck. This is not fully original version. I added Day of Judgment because I really couldn't win a lot of games if I couldn't sweep. This deck is extremely reliant on being on the play or on the draw. If you are on the draw, you cannot counter most of the spells, and then Sweeper is your only saving grace. That's why we play 4 of. And I also went into Consult the Star Charts instead of the Ducts. I think that was the name. So I think this gives you a little bit more selection. And yeah, guys, to be absolutely honest, I deranked with this deck just to be fair with you. So it's very reliant on being on the play and having the right answers. This is the deck that goes super hard or super bad. There is no in between. Either you lock your opponent down so hard that there's nothing they can do for most of the game, or you just get run over and then it's very hard to salvage the game. With Day of Judgment you still can, but it's very hard. But I really enjoyed this type of strategy. I hope it was fun to watch. So thank you guys. Thank you to all the patrons that helped channel make those videos. YouTube is kinda rough lately, and the Spider-Man wasn't like the craziest set ever, so your support matters a lot more even than usual, so really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you will have a great day today, and see you guys tomorrow.